Hi everyone. Welcome to our practice today. My name is Robin Love and I am a certified yoga therapist and the founder of the Hatha Yoga School. Today's practice is a short practice. I consider it a meditation practice. So we're going to be using some very gentle movement, some intentional breathing, and a kind of inward looking focus. So let's see what happens. This whole practice is done seated. So you want to be comfortable so that you can stay here in your seated position. I think it's going to be about a 20-minute practice. So make sure you're supported, but because breath is an important part, you want to be seated upright. So if you're in a chair, you're just going to shift a little bit forward in the chair rather than leaning back. I'm seated on the floor. I have a cushion under my hips so that I can sit up nice and tall. I'm going to adjust the camera slightly and sit back. So find a comfortable seated position. If you're in a chair, make sure your feet, the soles of your feet, are completely connected to the ground. So you might even put a pillow under your feet if you have shorter legs. I'm sitting on the ground on a cushion, and I'm sitting in a cross-legged position, but my knees are connected to the ground. So you could even put some supports underneath your thighs or your knees so that, again, you feel that connection to the ground. As you find your comfortable seat, take a minute to settle. You might want to close your eyes or shift the gaze downward. So we're going to be really focusing inward today. So we want to limit how much information is coming in through the eyes. And I hope you're in a comfortable place where there's not too much noise and the temperature is just right. As you settle, connect to your breath. So if you can, you're breathing through your nose. See if you can soften the breath and let it get slower and longer. Keeping the breath sort of free and easeful, but letting it just kind of lengthen out with each breath. So maybe you breathe in a little more deeply and exhale completely. Take a few more breaths like that. See if you can let the inhalation and the exhalation be about the same length. Keep going like that. I'm going to chant a short chant, which is traditionally done often at the beginning of a class or a practice. Just listen. Let the words flow over you, move through you, just like your breath. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As you've settled into this nice, slow, steady breath, I want you to really turn your attention inward and bringing your attention, your awareness inward, just notice. Notice in your body where you feel settled and supported. Perhaps there's part somewhere in your body that could use a little support. Maybe your seat feels a little collapsed, so you want to bring some aliveness into your spine so you sit up. But you feel that connection to the ground through your hips, through your feet or your knees. And now notice if there's any tension. Where do you carry that tension? Maybe the shoulders or the jaw or the face. Next time you exhale, let's see if we can soften, or it could be the hips. All those are very common places where we carry a little extra that doesn't need to be held. So I know for me a lot in the shoulders and the neck and the jaw. So as we exhale, can we soften those places and maybe offer that energy that we're bringing that doesn't need to be there? Maybe you bring it to that other place that needs some support. Over the course of a couple more breaths, see if you can just even out that energy in the body. Offering support where it's needed, releasing some extra energy and giving it to wherever else it actually could be useful. Staying connected to that long, slow, steady breath. We're going to use this long, slow, steady breath to guide some very gentle movement. Very gentle. And I'm going to say for this practice, we're going to move at what I would consider 60-70% of what might be our fullest range of movement. So this is not about extending to our furthest. So this can be quite a challenging practice in and of itself. So you're going to try your best to give yourself permission to move not as far as you might normally go. Next time you inhale, we're going to lift one arm up from the front, keep the elbows soft. Bring the fingertips up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, just going to send that arm back down. We're going to keep going on the same side. Next inhale, start the inhale, lift the arm up. Let it ride the breath. The movement follows the breath. As you exhale, the arm comes down. We'll do one more on that same side, inhaling. The inhale helps lift the arm. Exhale, you might draw the belly in on the exhale gently. Then we'll do the other side. Inhale, the arm comes up like a 60-70%. Exhale, come down. It's riding the breath, and the breath is long and slow. So it's a long, slow, steady movement. There's no rush. Exhale, float the arm down on the exhale. And one more like that. How can the breath support this movement? Such a simple movement, right? We're going to repeat that movement, but now I really encourage you to close your eyes and imagine those eyes are at your fingertips. So when you inhale and lift the arm up, imagine the eyes at the tips of the fingers. Exhale, bring that awareness, that attention, that vision back down. Inhale, same side. What if the eyes were in the fingertips? Moving through space, riding the breath. If you don't know what I mean by this, this is fine. You have one more time. Just can you allow that we can see in a different way? We're going to do the other arm now. Same thing, inhaling. Bring your eyes to your fingertips. What would it mean to send that capacity to see to the ends of your fingers? Riding the breath up and riding the breath down. One more like that. That kind of awareness into the hand, into the fingers. We're going to do a similar thing, a little bit different, but just again using the breath and using the arms. Inhale, you're going to send the right arm up, and now the actual eyes are going to follow the hand. So as my hand comes up on the inhale, I'm looking at my hand. And now I'm taking on the exhale this hand across my body to my opposite shoulder. Inhale, again following my hand with my eyes. Exhale, bringing that hand to the shoulder. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hand to the shoulder. Following with my eyes. Coming back now, I'm going to close my eyes and exhale again as if my eyes were in you could move your face if you like, but just imagining now that seeing is in the hand. One more like that. One more breath, still following movement to breath. Last one that side. Next exhale, the hand can rest in your lap. We're going to do the other side. So if your eyes were closed, they can open. Inhaling now, using your eyes to see. Following the hand as you exhale now across the body to the other side. Watching the hand. Again, we're not trying to go as far as possible. This is like 60, 70%. It's as if the hand was the most fascinating object. You can't take your eyes off of it. Kind of is. Inhale. Now shifting that sense of awareness, attention, of seeing, you could close your eyes. Bring that hand to the shoulder. What if the seeing was in the hand? Moving through space, riding the breath. What is it seeing? We'll do one more. Last inhale and exhale, letting the hand come down. Just let your hands rest for a moment, and then eyes could open or stay closed. You're going to open up. Inhale, both arms wide. Just a gentle breath. Exhale, come back down. Let's do two more like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. And just settling into your seat. Maybe let your hands rest palm up on your thighs. You could again close your eyes, just rest for a moment. Let the breath be gentle. What is it like when we shift our gaze from the place that we are most familiar with it coming from? What does that even mean? You know, the thing about yoga is there's a curiosity, a wondering that doesn't need to have answers. We allow the answers to come in their own time, not on our particular preferred schedule. This is so true. In so many ways, in our yoga practice and in our life, things don't happen on our preferred schedule, but they happen on the correct schedule for us. Again, shifting the gaze inward, let's connect again to our breath. Feeling that inhale, that expansion, a lightness as we inhale, as we exhale, a softening, a connecting to the ground. Notice if there's any tension in your body, can you soften that? Send that energy to somewhere else in your body that might want it today, right now. This time I want us to shift our gaze really to our breath, so that on your next inhale, can that breath and that gaze rise up the back of your spine? So lift up the back of your spine, imagining you can see that spine as you inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to go down the front of the spine as the belly draws in. Imagining that your gaze can see the breath rise up the back of your spine. And exhale as if your eye is traveling down the front of your spine. Keep going like that. Inhaling, sending your gaze up the back of your spine. Exhale like a camera almost. If that's difficult, you can just feel it in your body. Inhale, the attention, the awareness comes up the spine. The exhale moves down the front of the spine. You might notice it's easier on the inhale or easier on the exhale. Or maybe you skip over parts of your spine. Some are easy to see, some are more difficult. Again, this is just a noticing, an awareness. Knowing that tomorrow, if you do this again, it will be different. Keep going like that, sending that awareness, that gaze up the back of the spine on the inhale, down the front of the spine on the exhale. The breath is long and slow and steady. There's no rush. However you're doing this is correct. Just like letting go of tension that may be gathered in one place in your body, you can also let go of any tension around doing it correctly. Use that energy to sharpen that gaze, sharpen that awareness as you come up on the inhale, the back of the spine, and exhale down the front of the spine. By sharpen, I mean just keeping it steady, resisting the urge to drift away, staying attuned. Let's do one more breath like that. If you need to shift your position as you finish, so I had crisscross legs, I'm just going to switch. and find that settled position again. And just as we began this practice, I want to invite you to give a scan in your whole body now. This idea that we tend to gather energy in places that we call tension. You might call it just a little excess energy. So you're going to see, where do you feel that? I can still feel some in my jaw this morning. What if I offer that energy to another place in my body? So maybe in my spine, I kept jumping over the center of my spine. It was hard to keep my gaze there. What if I took that energy that I'm giving a little extra to in my jaw, and I'm going to offer it into that center part of my spine that feels kind of invisible to me? So I want to invite you to do that in your own bodies. There's somewhere where you're holding, wants to hold energy that doesn't need to be held there, and then offer it to that invisible part of your body that you just kind of leap over with the gaze, with the awareness. Maybe it could use a little extra today. Again, this is just a wondering, a curiosity. How does it feel? However you're doing it is just right. Offering that extra energy. If that feels too much, just stay tuned into the breath. That feeling of inhaling and exhaling. It can be that simple. You're invited to stay tuned into this breath, this interior focus, as long as you want. As you are ready to finish up, maybe you open your eyes if they've been closed. Allow now that information to come in through the eyes, through the gaze. Keep the breath soft, but letting go of any conscious control. We're going to bring our hands palm to palm in front of our heart. Let's chant together 3 times that Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti often translated as peace, but it's a particular kind of peace. It is a peace that comes from not being disturbed by obstacles. In a way, you could say it is a way of redistributing the energy from that where we've put too much to where it is truly needed. And thus we are not disturbed by obstacles. So let's chant 3 times together. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a nice inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Last one. Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. May you be undisturbed by obstacles, and may any merits of our practice benefit all beings. Thank you for your practice.